It's round 3 of the Thundersport GB Championships for 2017. Slightly overcast as ever. Snetterton in Norfolk. The A&RR Racing Continental pre-national 600s on the grid, as ever with Thundersport these days. Just so many 600s have come into play, and a full grid here and another few other full grids in the 600s. In this championship, was Zach Ultram leads. Zach Ultram, the number 47, and he is on pole position as we look to the right in the top right corner. And away we go here at Snetterton. This, of course, the 200 circuit, so the shorter circuit layout. There is your championship leader, 47. It looks like he should get the whole shot. Just up ahead there of number 75, Sean Kenyon. But as you can probably see from the circuit, quite a bit of rain overnight, a bit of rain this morning as well, and a lot of spray kicking up. So tiptoeing around one or two of these riders. There you can see Ultram leading, gingerly making his way around Montreal and then onto the back straight here at Snetterton. There is number 38, Jeremy Watson from Hemel Hempstead, 6th overall into the championship when we came here this weekend. The championship just starts to take shape now, doesn't it? Whenever we reach Snetterton and there's a challenge for the lead immediately. There goes number 75, Sean Kenyon, into the lead. Orange bib on, first full season of racing for him. Can get really, really tricky around here. The inside line into the bomb hole. Getting a bit hot there, yeah. That looked like it might just happen. And unfortunately, we have our first faller. That is Ben Bailey, who's gone down. And, and so is Kenyon as well. Number 75, Kenyon. So massive warnings here on the opening lap. Two riders stacking it, one at the bomb hole, one at Coram Curve. Well, Zach Ultram has seen both of those. Of course, he's the championship leader, so I wonder if he'll just cautiously now make his way around the next lap as we go across the start-finish straight. So two riders that are inside the top 3, they're down. We understand that both riders are up and okay. And who is this coming through to potentially lead now? It's Jamie Kringle, KPC Construction Triumph rider. I believe a relative of Ryan Kringle, who's raced with Thundersport a few times before, but he's obviously feeling a little more comfortable in these conditions on his Triumph there as he takes the lead. In third place, coming through on Zach Ultram, is number 89. That's Liam Dale from Barrett Steel Racing Yamaha. And let's see how Zach Ultram fancies this one then. Will he retaliate? It doesn't look like he's close enough at this moment in time. We should just point out at this early stage as well, best wishes and get well soon to not just one rider, but around about 10 or 11 who yesterday here at Snetterton threw themselves up the road, and a few that have ended up in Norfolk and Norwich. We send you all our best regards and wishes to a speedy recovery. Of course, Cadwell Park is up next. There we just saw number 8, Tom Hill. Not the Tommy Hill, we should just point out, that former British Superbike champion. Number 6 there, Paul McDonald as well on his Triumph, but it is a Triumph that leads, very comfortable as well. Looks Jamie Kringle out front. Zach Ultram, championship leader there in second now, coming under more pressure from Liam Dale in third place. Jeremy Watson is just a bit further behind them, number 38. There is 52 leading this other pack further behind. That's Sam Molesley. The pre-national 600s, a championship for riders that are either rookies with the orange bibs on, or that perhaps have been just racing for a year or two, yet to gain a national licence. And of course you always have that option as well of racing in the Sportsman Elite 600 class, which is that Thundersport 600s, the main 600 class with us. We've got so many entries. The biggest entry ever actually at Snetterton for Thundersport GB, which is always an encouraging sign. And we've got a problem there a bit further back. And who is that that's just gone walkies? Can't quite see a number on that bike at the moment, but he's safe. He's being wheeled away at the moment. That might be Tom Hill that we saw a little while ago. Can't be sure on that, but we'll get confirmation in just a moment. There you see number 38 closing up. That's Jeremy Watson. Just behind them, 28 and 34. 28 is Michael Cox and 34 Chris Lavisher. Then we've got number 6 Paul McDonald and 119 Alan Brooks. So Alan Brooks, who's in the top 5 of the championship overall. The sun is out, and it's quite windy, so the circuit might just dry out a bit as the day goes on. But at the moment, you've still got to be ever so careful on the throttle, as we saw in the early stages of this one when we lost 2 riders on the opening lap. Across the line there we go then. So it is still quite comfortably out front. Jamie Kringle from Zach Ultram, who's just recovered a bit in the last lap and a half, and so now Liam Dale is coming under threat from Jeremy Watson. There you see the full wet tyres for third place rider Liam Dale. It will have been, of course, declared a wet race, so you have the option if you want to go for the dry tyres, if you want to risk it. I just wonder whether that was the option that perhaps one or two of the riders made that were out there at the start that threw it up the road, because track temperatures are cold. It is a bitterly cold day here at Snetterton, despite the fact that it looks okay and the sun keeps on popping out. The wind is sharp and it is really cold, so track temperatures will be cool as Jeremy Watson there finds his way past Liam Dale rather convincingly. So Liam Dale would probably do well just to sit there and follow Jeremy Watson, who's making progress. A rider just being walked away there in the background. So we've got another rider that's gone down, but at least he's up and okay. A couple of rookies a bit further back there as we see that stationary yellow flag. Number 24. That's Lee McLaughlin, and number 67, Jonathan Dwyer. So Zach Altram, then the series leader, now coming under threat from Jeremy Watson. Watson 6th in the championship. Altram has come into this round with a decent lead overall, so I don't think he'll be pushing the boat out too far. But let's see what Jeremy Watson can do. That's certainly a case for saying, though, if Watson was to couple of decent podium finishes here today, it would certainly help him out in the series as we head to Cadwell next up. Still Ryan Kringle, though, that has this lead. Now, Ryan Kringle hasn't featured in the championship as yet in 2017, so Zach Altram potentially at the moment he will be extending his championship lead as he stays put in second place. Further back there is 46 and 57. That's Alistair Wright and Stephen Dickinson. There's number 27 as well, Brian Fuge, the Luge, having some fun out there. They're all inside the points. He's one of our Royal Navy riders, and there is the move from Jeremy Watson. The same move he pulled off just, what, a lap ago on Liam Dale. So he's obviously got that speed he's carrying into what used to be known as the S's, which is, of course, now Brundle and Nelson. Around the bomb hole and up towards Coram Curve. Massive high side. Oh, that's just what you don't want to see. We saw it earlier on, but Alan Brooks now has gone down. If you take a slightly wider line into the bomb hole at the moment, it is a bit damp, and that's going to hurt in the morning as he limps away from the scene. At least he's up and okay, but the bomb hole bites again, I'm afraid, for Alan Brooks, and that's precious points he's kissed goodbye to there. There's Michael Coxon, one of our British Army riders. It's going well in this race so far. Zach Altram doing the right thing, really, at the moment. Didn't want to be the guinea pig out front, and wisely so. He's seen two riders go past him. He'll know that they're not immediate threats to him in the championship. Here is number 58, Liam Warren. Liam Warren at the moment inside the top 10 on that Triumph. Having a bit of a lonely race by the looks of things. And then again we see this battle further back, 9th to what, 13th, 14th place, being led by Stephen Dickinson at the moment. And there is Brian Fuge, who's certainly benefited, I think, from stepping into this class. Fuge has been with Thundersport now for a couple of years, and so he's getting some racecraft skills behind him. There is 57 making his way onto the back straight, the rider from Rothwell, Stephen Dickinson, but it's still Ryan Kringle that has this advantage, but it is being cut because since Jeremy Watson has got past the series leader Zach Altram, he's closing down. There's Liam Dale still in 4th place, and despite in the early stages maybe having a nibble at Zach Altram, it looks as though he might just have to settle there for 4th place, but the interest is certainly going to be set upon the two leaders in a moment, as we see there a change. That's number 24 just going through on Brian Fuge. So Lee McLaughlin from Leeds has made up a place. Fuge trying to bite back again into the bomb hole, but might not be so advisable when conditions are like this. You can just see those damp patches there at the bomb hole, which will be really, really awkward because you will not be on the throttle when you go through there. So as soon as you apply the power, you're hitting that damp patch. Now then, right to the leaders. This is close. They're coming up on some back markers here, and there is the move. Wow, so late on the brakes there was Jeremy Watson. You almost wonder whether the race leader there, Jamie Kringle, was just maybe a little bit distracted as he went into Montreal by that back marker, and well, Jeremy Watson's gone past him like he stood still. Behind Liam Dale, we've got Paul McDonald, we saw him earlier, and Michael Coxon. Then we have there Liam Warren. But at the front then, Kringle, can he now bite back? Jeremy Watson it is that leads. Kringle, who's led most of this race, has just maybe got to follow Watson a bit. They're taking that slightly wider exit from the bomb hole, which is, you can see, a dry line. So Jeremy Watson, 25 points could be on the cards for him, and when you're 6th in the championship with only 47 points coming into the event, 25 really will launch him up into top 3 contention overall. Although it's fair to say at the moment, Jamie Kringle doesn't look like he's giving this one up just yet. Into the slipstream on the start-finish straight we go. Pulling out of the slipstream, he'll have the inside line into Ritchie's. Doesn't fancy it this time. Now this is where, on the lap previous, Watson had a distinct advantage on the power earlier, on the brakes later. Was it just a distraction for Kringle, or is Watson just a demon on the brakes? I think it was more of a distraction, because it doesn't look like there's a huge difference, although varied lines going into Montreal there, and I think that Kringle might have to wave the white flag soon, unless there's a mistake coming from Jeremy Watson out front. Further back there is number 79, Nick Barnes from Peterborough. He's now got himself into the top 10. And coming now around into Nelson and up towards the bomb hole. It's funny, isn't it, because different parts of this circuit it seems that Kringle is faster than Watson, but then as soon as they get into turn 1, Jeremy Watson able to turn the screw a bit. Liam Dale still in 4th place. Paul McDonald we'll see there. He's just going past the back marker Ian Norris. So he's pretty comfortable 5th place there, the Mack Racing Triumph rider. This looks a bit closer, slightly wide on the exit there for Jamie Kringle. That will not help him on the start-finish straight, but will he have one last go at this as the last lap flag is held out here for the first race at Snetterton for the pre-national 600 sports and the freshman as well. Leading freshman is Michael Coxon at the moment, number 28. Now then, chances will be running out shortly. There's one gone, Montreal. If he can just make Montreal really stick here, Jamie Kringle, to give himself a chance on the back straight, he might well be able to get a bit closer, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen here. It will have to be a mistake from Watson to prevent him from taking the win. Further back still, changes for positions going on. All these guys looking to get themselves inside that top 12 overall. Brian Fuge at the moment there is in 12th place. So Watson it is that still has this lead. Kringle, you can see he's still getting his head underneath the front screen there. He still fancies it. He's there to pick up the pieces should it go wrong, but there's only Murray's now to deal with for the race leader. Really, one of those sort of mornings you wake up on and the last thing you want to see on circuit are damp patches. So difficult to navigate through. Of course, tyres will be ripping up a bit on the dry as well, but it's a really, really solid performance from Jeremy Watson, who's come through the pack and has taken a fine win here at Snetterton. A couple of rain spots on the camera lens there as well, and you should be very happy indeed with that. Jeremy Watson wins race 1 then. That will do his championship chances the world of good. JMW construction rider there, you can just see. And, well, Jez looks very happy indeed with that. Jamie Kringle was 2nd. Zach Altram, the championship leader, will be content with 3rd. Liam Dale was 4th. Paul McDonald in 5th. And Michael Coxon in 6th place. There's the top 3. Very happy, I'm sure. Watson, Kringle and Altram. And in the freshmen, it's Coxon, Dwyer and Lee McLaughlin. Race 2 will be coming up in just a few moments. Hopefully we won't see quite as much of this. Join us in a sec. Time for race 2 then, pre-national sports 600, brought to you by A&RR Racing and Continental. Zach Altram there on pole position, brand new dry front, which is always good news. What that means, of course, is that we do have a slightly drier circuit. You can see the clouds, it doesn't really look much different here at Snet. We've had a few sprinklings of rain throughout the day, but the wind really has moved most of those rain clouds away. Still very, very cool here at Snetterton in Norfolk. of course, race winner from earlier, Jeremy Watson, probably the man to look out for, number 38. But with the circuit now fully dry, what can Zach Ultram do? Will he be feeling more confident? Looks like he'll get the whole shot once more, and does. Ben Bailey there going into second place, and here we are riding with Sam Molesley on the UWTSD Rd3 Racing Yamaha 600. If you're wondering what that UWTSD means, you can see just on the inside of your screen there exactly what it is. The University of Wales would be here all day if we tried to pronounce everything that was on that sponsor board. But onto the back straight we go. Let's see what happens. Will Harper was second in the championship coming into this weekend, but doesn't feature here today, so not sure if he's actually here or if he's had an accident over the weekend, but maybe we'll see more of him shortly. So big opportunity for Ultram. But this time Jeremy Watson, who won the race earlier, has got off to a better start and is in line there, in second place. There you can see at the bomb hole, the damp patches have all gone away, although a couple of riders taking a slightly wider line than is needed. Then around Coram Curve. You have to take Coram so differently these days since the adjustments to the short circuit, because of course you're not into the old Russells, which I have to admit I preferred. The chicane going on to the start-finish straight just led into so many great last-minute overtaking manoeuvres and a lot of drama, although there'll be a few riders that are happy to see the back of it. There is Ultram then that leads. There's Jamie Kringle in third, Ben Bailey in fourth place. That's number 8, Tom Hill, who we saw, of course, being pushed away earlier on. A few riders that were hurt and down and out. Sean Kenyon, by the way, of that massive high side, coming around Coram Curve, is out on circuit. But unsurprising, perhaps, to see that he's not going all guns blazing at the start of this second race here at Snetterton. Ultram it is that leads then, the championship leader from Jeremy Watson. Whatever happens here between these two at the front. Jeremy Watson again, that's what he did in race 1. That's brilliant stuff from Watson. The speed he carries around there is spectacular. He's just lost out again though into the bomb hole, but Zach Ultram certainly knows now that he's got some company. There is number 9 a bit further back, looking to make a move on 61. That is Nathan Sackelt. And 61 is Russell Powell. Into Murray's we go. And now onto the start-finish straight. Can Jeremy Watson get into the slipstreams? Jamie Kringle there. Again, like we saw in race 1, takes that wide line onto the start-finish straight. Side by side there, you can see Paul McDonald just making up a place. A pit board being held out with numbers being removed at every opportunity. Now into Richie's corner. Zach Ultram it is that has the advantage. Immediately the lap times, of course, looking a lot better than earlier. They're a good 5 seconds quicker in this race than they were earlier on, so those slightly iffy conditions, shall we say, just I don't know, probably doing enough to warn Zach Ultram, who's doing the right thing in terms of the championship. You can see there that we've had a bit of oil spilt since we went out earlier for race 1, so there's a few cement dust patches around this circuit, but still Ultram it is that leads. This has been a good lap from Ultram since he saw the front wheel of Jeremy Watson in second place. Around the bomb hole they go once more. They're just starting to drift away, those two now, from the chasing pack around the incredibly quick Coram Curve. And then braking hard down into Murray's. Zach Ultram so far not putting a foot wrong. Doesn't look like there's a lot splitting them. Third place has changed. Tom Hill has gone up into third, up ahead there of Jamie Kringle, who now looks to pounce back again on the slipstream. Pretty much identical lap times in the first 2 or 3 laps here from Ultram and Watson out front. Watson just looking for any mistake he can get. Further back there we see rookie and freshman rider AJ McDaniel, a teammate to Ryan Strafford. It says in the programme he hails from Huntingdon. He works in Huntingdon, he resides in Huntingdon. He is actually Texan, AJ McDaniel, and enjoying his time racing at Thundersport, although I would imagine the weather in Texas is a damn sight better than it is here at Snetterton at the moment. On board again with Sam Molesley, who at the moment is just battling to try and get himself into the points overall. Back to the front though, again through Brundle and Nelson corner. Jeremy Watson able just to carry that speed on his Yamaha as he looks to try and close in on the Kawasaki, and he looks like he got a good line there going into Coram curve. There is number 52, Sam Molesley. We're just on board with him, just ahead of AJ McDaniel. AJ McDaniel, by the way, second in the Freshmen's as it stands on circuit. Leading freshman is Michael Coxon again, number 28. Further back, there's a battle going on for third in that category between number 78, Carl Seaton, and number 15, Joseph Addy. There is Liam Dale, number 89. So Liam Dale, having gone well in race 1, not been able to replicate that here in race 2. He's just fallen a bit further back through the pack. So he's obviously just a fan of the greasy conditions. He's about to be overtaken there by number 63, Thomas Holmes from Walsall. So good scraps going all the way through the field here in this pre-national 600 class. Zach Altram, though, it is that seems to be the cream of the crop in this class in the first 3 or 4 rounds. AJ McDaniel there. Well, it looks like he had a one-way ticket back to Texas then, the way he was braking down into Montreal. He has rejoined the circuit, but he's lost a lot of time there. Ever so easy to do, to lose your braking marker into that corner. It was easy to do when it used to be called Sears, but even more so now it's a hairpin. Zach Altram doing well here out front. He's not making any mistakes, but he's being kept very honest indeed by Jeremy Watson in second place as this battle continues further back. Paul McDonald, by the way, Ben Bailey, Jamie Kringle, Tom Hill, they're all still up inside the top 7 or 8 and are having a good scrap. In fact, there could be a bit of a change for the podium here in race 2. Here we see them all. Tom Hill still leads that group. Coming through on them as well is their number 34, Chris Lavisher, on that black and bright yellow Triumph. Still Altram with the lead. It's tough to do this when you go around Snetterton and you're probably racing at your limit and you see your pit board and it continuously just says +0. It's very, very difficult. The easier job by far at the moment, you could say, is Jeremy Watson's, just to be able to follow, but at the moment he's not able to find any headway. There is number 63 again, up ahead of 79, Nick Barnes. So see what happens now as we make our way around Brundle again, and Nelson. It is still Altram from Watson. Watson is able to close up on the brakes down the back straight, but then Altram again winds it on. Now Jamie Kringle's gone up ahead of Paul McDonald, who in turn has also gone past Tom Hill. So Paul McDonald in this group is the one that's making the most moves, and there he's having a look up the inside into Coram as well. Didn't quite work out, but McDonald on the Triumph looking for that final podium place. Zach Altram maybe just nicking another 10th there out of Jeremy Watson for the lead, but it is McDonald who's made his way through ahead of Kringle. There's Tom Hill and Ben Bailey as well. McDonald lapping now in the low 117s, by far the quickest of that group, and so should be able to maybe peel away from these guys and hold on to a top 3 finish overall. Further back there, 45 on 66, the MSG Suzuki colours there of Chris Curtis, going past Tom Johnson from Newport. It's a fair old drive from Newport over here to Snetterton. Tom Hill there just running wide down into Montreal. That might be him kissing goodbye to any chances that he still had of finishing on the podium, as we see there Ben Bailey trying to close in on Kringle. And here is Altram. He's done an excellent job these last couple of laps, actually, lapping now in the mid 116s. They're still a way off the lap record in this class, but I have to tell you, the lap record that was set a couple of years ago by Harry Truelove was under sunshine and class that year. Harry Truelove perhaps punching below his weight as opposed to above his weight. He's just a bit too fast for that class at the time, and in the end he actually decided, when he could win the championship, not to even attend the final round. Now there's been some changes further back through the pack here. There's still a good battle going on for the top 3 overall. Ben Bailey trying to get himself in the mix. It's Zach Altram then here on the final lap that has this lead. And it's been a brilliant ride from the championship leader. He could have quite easily let Jeremy Watson through and just followed him around, but he's decided to lead this one the whole way. It's worked out brilliantly, as we see there Lewis Roberts in these closing stages of this one, starting to make up a bit of time, but it might be too little too late. There is Jeremy Watson. It has to be said, it's Jeremy's best weekend of the season, so I'm sure he'll still be delighted. The points he's picked up here today alone will launch him up from 6th place overall in the championship. But Zach Altram is going to head to Lincolnshire, our next round at Cadwell Park, with a tasty lead over his opposition. Back marker to deal with up ahead, shouldn't be too much of a problem. These are the guys still fighting out for third. They've got themselves in some traffic as well, but Paul McDonald is going to take it. He's got about a 1.5 seconds over Ben Bailey at this moment in time. Checkered flag being made ready then. Here is Zach Altram. He leads the championship and he extends the championship. A brilliant ride from the number 47, the rider from Manchester on the Connect Racing Kawasaki. He may well have a long drive back from Snetterton coming up just after this race, but he'll have a big smile in his face and a winner's trophy to put on the dashboard as well. Zach Altram then winning race 2 in the pre-national sports. In the freshman further back, I can tell you Michael Coxon just missed out on a top 10 finish overall, but has won the freshman. We'll see him on the podium in a moment. Altram the winner then overall. It was Watson 2nd, Paul McDonald 3rd, Ben Bailey 4th, Jamie Kringle 5th, and Tom Hill in 6th place. There you see Altram in the middle, very happy. Jeremy Watson 2nd and Paul McDonald 3rd. In the freshman class, it was Michael Coxon the winner from AJ McDaniel and Carl Seaton. Let's take a look at those points then heading into Cadwell. You see massive lead there for Zach Altram. Paul McDonald has moved up into 2nd place, but Altram almost 100 clear now of this lot. Jeremy Watson has moved up from 6th into 4th overall. And in the freshman class, Coxon leads. Quite a nice lead as well over American AJ McDaniel. That's it from us here then at Snetterton. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in what, 2-3 weeks time at Cadwell Park.